based on the topic that we did yesterday, the Surf top 5 battles that he should take on his comeback. And if y'all haven't seen that stream, check it out. YouTube was processing that bitch for like 18 hours. YouTube has reported that across almost all of their content creators. It's not just me. And so they've been killing a bunch of us, but it's finally done processing. So catch up on that stream from last night. But she asked me, what about Surf returning on TBL? And my immediate reflex thought was, no fucking way. Almost like Adi Boom coming home and not having his first battle on RBE. It just doesn't go that way, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, fine, battle ever, but when you come home, it's gonna be with you guys get it, right? But here was a different thought that I had. This is what I threw back to Jay. And this is what I'll say here for y'all. You never know. I could be right about it. The game around URL has changed in this respect. Because, and this is all my opinion, so I'll just say allegedly, right? Why not? Because URL has historically done a good job. I'm not even being sarcastic. That's serious. It's good. It's common big or good business. They've done a good job at leveraging other entities' money, whether it be Exclusive Vodka or Al Capone Cigarillos or Harry or the mayor and Frank and so forth and so on, right? To finance their a lot of moves that they've made over the years, right? If you don't have that type of money, like let's say, or even caffeine, that's like one of the biggest ones to throw in there. If you don't have that type of money available to you to dish out to the battle rappers, like let's say the caffeine era, you don't have the ability to tell them to stay put the way that you used to. There's a factor in battle rap of purchasing loyalty. Go argue with your mother if you think it's not true. Okay? Respectfully. If URL hasn't for recent years had those type of budgets, you even see the battlers move around more. You see it's like the hold is like relinquished to a degree. I can't even feed you like that. You know, so the loyalty that the battle rappers start to give back to URL is hopefully good deals or I'm there when you call me. It almost seemed like in a recent interview, that's pretty much like Twerk was talking about. He's like, I don't owe them niggas nothing. They don't owe me nothing, but I owe them loyalty. And pretty much that if you call me, I'm there. I got you always. The same way you held me down, I'm there whenever you need me, right? But niggas got kids. Niggas got bills. Niggas got Christmas gifts to buy. Niggas got all types of shit going on, right? And if you can't pay it out, if you don't got caffeine or all this stuff going feeding the artist, imagine now, Surf comes home. The biggest priority is supposed to be him having his life put in order, right? And then also him putting himself into a mechanism of financial stability. That's why I wasn't even being sarcastic yesterday when I mentioned him coming home and joining under a salary, the Joe Button podcast. And we got a Joe Button topic in here. Hold on. Him coming home to a salary on the Joe Button podcast, I promise you, all bullshit aside, that would be the best move for Surf, and then all of his battles be secondary. Even if he got $100,000 battle, let that be his hits. But his main consistent salary, Joe Button podcast. Meaning every week or bi-week or whatever they do over, like he got, those are real legitimate, I believe, employees that they have over there in contracts, like Flip and Ish and Ice and Melissa Ford. These are employees. Wait until we get to this Joe Button topic, people, today. Give me a second. That's the best shit for Surf. And then back to now, this whole thing what I was having with Jay. If URL doesn't have that bag, and if his financial stability and him putting all his stuff in order is priority, then you know what URL does? It's the real nigga moment of, as much as we want your return, TBL is offering you $200,000 for it. Go do it. And then TBL finances and books and promotes and puts on Surf's return. What if that's the biggest payday for Surf? Now, there's no doubt in my mind that URL would still have their hands in the mix somehow. URL can't force TBL to do some type of business with them. You can't, because Surf isn't under a contract right now, is he? But Surf probably carries that utmost loyalty to URL like a Tay Rock, where a contract isn't required. So sometimes the battle rappers carry obligations allegedly for URL. So what would mean in that instance is URL and Surf, hey man, 200, 150, or 100. Y'all don't got 100 for me. I got you. I'm coming, Chris Petty. Shout out to Chris Petty with a super. Give me 1 second, G. And then, it's just like, that's the best. That makes the most sense. I'm just coming home. But Surf then goes to TBL and says, look, man, I'm going to do this, but in the contract, you know what I need? I need the footage to go to the app for the first month or shit like that. And allegedly that's already happened 50 fucking times. You know what I'm saying? So I got to really thinking about it. Like, a Surf return can make sense on TBL. Think about it. Mr. Chris Petty, what you talking about, G? Says, the hat is the bar. AMG mode. You think you slick? LOL. It would have been if Surf was the main topic. And so you actually, if I would have played on your super chat right now, I would just be fronting like, yeah, I thought about that. Nah, I didn't. What came to mind is what I said at the beginning of the stream. Like, y'all remember this was the Divide and Conquer Part 1, the first Blue Room event hat. This is when Avo told me, like, yo, that hat is gonna glow. And I was like, word, all right, let's see how the footage turns out. That's what this is. But shout out to Chris Petty in the building, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. And there was another one that came in earlier too, real quick. Shout out to Kevin with the super says, Verb gossips like he's on Housewives of Atlanta. He is exhausting outside of his battles. We'll get there. We'll get there. Was that a fun enough intro for y'all? Everything I just talked about is just intro. We got to get into some news. I promise you they won't be as long before we get to the main topic. But we owed our podcast a live stream, with multiple topics. We haven't done that. It feels like too long. So let's knock it out.